Welcome back to Speaking History, friends. France is one of the most beautiful, wealthy, and powerful countries in the world. Its capital, Paris, is known as the city of love and fragrance. The people of France are famous for being friendly and peaceful. Today, France and Britain are considered close neighbors. But history tells us of a time when the two nations were locked in a brutal conflict that lasted a full 100 years. This war, beginning in 1337 and ending in 1453, was one of the most critical and fragile periods in French history. Unfortunately, during this tumultuous time, France was ruled by a king who became known as Charles the Mad. Born in Paris in 1368, Charles VI was the son of Charles V, a wise and capable ruler who brought prosperity and peace to France. However, after his father's death, the kingdom fell into the hands of his brothers, who plundered the treasury. Charles VI, who was just 11 years old at the time, eventually took control of the throne. In the beginning, Charles VI was not mad at all. In fact, he was a clever, brave, and handsome king. He reduced the burden of taxes on his people, reorganized the military, and set France on the path to progress once again. He married a beautiful princess from Bavaria, now modern-day Germany, named Isabeau, and life seemed to be peaceful. However, in 1392, Charles fell ill with a mysterious disease that caused his hair and nails to fall out. Soon after, he began to experience fainting spells. One fateful summer afternoon, while on a military campaign, Charles suddenly had a fit of madness and started attacking his own men, killing 4 soldiers before he could be restrained. After this incident, the king fell into a coma for several days. Although the royal physicians managed to bring him back to health, he continued to suffer from periodic bouts of madness. During these episodes, he would deny being the king and claim his name was George, insisting that he had no wife or children. French surgeons performed several brain surgeries on him, but his condition only worsened. At one point, he believed he was made of glass and could shatter with the slightest touch. This delusion became so severe that he stopped bathing, changing clothes, or even moving, fearing he might break. His clothes were reinforced with iron rods to support his fragile glass body. As his madness deepened, Charles began to neglect his hygiene, resulting in multiple skin diseases and lice infestations. To cure him, his doctors and courtiers resorted to shaking and hitting him to convince him that he was not made of glass. Although this temporarily convinced him to bathe, his psychological state remained unstable. During his illness, France saw several revolts, with his wife Isabeau, brother Louis of Orleans, and cousin John the Fearless conspiring against him. The English king, Henry V, took advantage of the chaos, formed an alliance with some French rebels, and invaded France, eventually laying siege to Paris. Although the French army was larger, it was disorganized due to the lack of strong leadership, and Henry V won a decisive victory. Henry married Charles VI's daughter and set out to conquer the rest of France. Believing he had the kingdom in his grasp, Henry appointed a regent and returned to England. But then a remarkable figure emerged in French history, Joan of Arc, a young girl who inspired the French with a new sense of hope and led them in the fight for freedom. Although she was captured by English sympathizers and burned at the stake as a witch at the age of 19, her martyrdom united France against the English. The tide of the war turned, and after years of defeat, France finally emerged victorious, ending the 100 Years' War. In 1920, the French government recognized Joan of Arc as a freedom fighter and national hero. Today, every year on May 30th, France celebrates Joan of Arc Day. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave your feedback in the comments section below.